Think, Mark! Think! Son, now do you see? This is not our world. One punch from one of our people and thousands lose their lives. Can't you understand that? These people are beneath us. Their lives are insignificant at best. This place has nothing to offer you, or any of our kind. It is here to be conquered and improved. Left to its own devices, it would be a complete waste.
How can you say these things? How can you say that about Mom? You love her! I've seen it!
Your mother means nothing to me. Liar! No! I'm telling you the truth for the first time in your life! I don't give a damn about anyone on this planet. They mean nothing to me. They are livestock, meaningless animals. You can't look at them as equals.
No! You're wrong! I've seen you save people! I've seen you protect them! You may have been a cold-hearted Viltrumite, but when you came to Earth, you changed! I've seen it! You said yourself that you lost your way. You lived as a human while you were raising me. You said you were happy! You can't make me believe that my whole life with you was a lie!
You find my actions hard to believe. My time here has been a speck in the span of my life. You are not listening to me. You don't even know me, son. Yes, for a time, I was happy, but I knew it couldn't last. My loyalties lie with Viltrum, not this pathetic excuse for a civilization. I will see this planet burn and all life eradicated before I spend another minute living amongst them as one of their own. I'm tired of this game. If you choose to stand against me, you can die with them. I can always produce more offspring.
You bastard!
Please! You are a fool to oppose me. I thought I taught you better than that. You disappoint me, Mark. Had enough yet?
I will stop you.
I'm ready when you... You're doing this for nothing! We will share our technology with them. We'll bring them up to speed with the rest of the universe. In time, Earth will be better than it ever was.
And what if they resist?
We will destroy them. But that's what we're here for, to keep them from resisting.
I won't let you enslave these people, Dad. This isn't right.
Why? Why? Why do you resist? What is it you think this world has to offer? Whatever you're fighting for right now will be gone before you have time to enjoy it. You are fighting so you can watch everything around you die. Think, Mark. Think! The older we get, the slower we age. You will outlast every fragile being on this planet. You will live to see the end of this civilization. Everything and everyone you know will be gone! What will you have after 500 years?
You, Dad. I'd still have you. Dad. Dad.
good. You're awake.
I thought it might have been a dream.
Believe me, kid, I wish you were. You've been out for almost 2 weeks, but my guys have got you patched up real good. You should be back up to full speed in a day or two. We're basically just keeping you here for observation. We want to make sure there's nothing wrong that we missed. My name is Cecil Stedman. You don't know me, but I knew your father very well. Or so I thought. I'm so high-ranked in the U.S. government, I don't even have a rank. I'm so far above the head of the CIA, he doesn't even know I exist. I'm also in charge of the Guardians of the Globe and their new government-sanctioned entity, and the newly reinstated Guard organization. My job is to keep the world safe, no matter what the cost. Your father was my top operative. I was the man on the other end of his beeper, and when he was in costume, his earpiece. I have a team of world watchers who monitor our entire planet around the clock. When problems arose, your father was sent in to deal with them. I had no idea what his real motives were, and not a lot slips past me. I know you're going through a lot right now, but I'd like to ask you some questions. It's good to see you're awake and aware. Your mother was nearly catatonic for the first week after the event. She's still not altogether there, but she's getting better. Now, if you'll just... Oh. Another time then. Sorry to bother.
Oh, hey, William.
Oh, hey.
Have you heard from Mark? He hasn't been in school for 2 weeks, and I'm starting to get worried.
No, nobody's at home, and I haven't heard from him since that stuff between his father and him was on the news. I'm really...
Wait a minute. You know?
Oh, man. You know too? Thank God! I thought I totally blew it. So, you think he's okay?
I don't know.
Miss Grayson, I need to talk with you for a minute. I know that it's the least of your worries at this point, but I wanted to let you know that you're being taken care of. I understand that Nolan was responsible for the family finances, and you have no income whatsoever without him. As far as the public is concerned, your husband died in a horrible car crash last week. We wanted to preserve his secret identity and keep you and Mark safe. Nolan Grayson, the author, has become an international superstar after his death. His books always did sell well enough to provide your family with a decent income. Since his death, all of his books have gone into third printings in less than a week. I have the power to manipulate the buying trends of the public. I can assure you that you will have a steady, substantial income for the remainder of your life. A proxy has attended a faux funeral and been interviewed by the press. Don't be alarmed if you see yourself on the news. Our holographics division is second to none. This has been done to ensure that when you're ready, you and your son can return to your home and resume your daily lives, with as little additional problems to deal with as possible. I know this is all a little overwhelming, and I apologize for all that's gone on. I just hope that I can help you in some small way.
Why? Why are you doing all this?
Because I feel responsible for your husband's actions. He was doing all of this right under my nose, and I never saw it. I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I didn't do everything in my power to make things as right as they can be. And my power is vast.
Oh, good. You're here. I didn't know if you would be.
We've been using this base as a temporary headquarters until the government can secure us a more suitable facility. The former Guardians of the Globe headquarters is still owned jointly by War Women's Corporation and Darkwing's estate. This facility is still sufficient for our needs.
Robot, I really need your help. Invincible has been missing since that fight with Omni-Man was televised, and I don't know where he could be. He could be dead, or lying somewhere near dead. Do you think you could call in a favor from someone in the government and try to find him? You could use spy satellites or something.
I was not aware of Invincible's disappearance. I will do my best to locate him. You have my word.
Thanks, Robot. Please let me know as soon as you find something out.
Eve,
What gave you the impression that we were speaking again?
Thanks for waiting. Sorry for the delay.
No problem at all, Donald. Before we start the meeting, it's been brought to my attention that a colleague of mine has gone missing. Invincible hasn't been seen or heard from since the incident with his father. Omni-Man was all over the news. I was wondering if you'd be willing to allow me to be able to...
He's fine. We have him in custody. He was injured, and we've been providing him with medical attention. But Robot, between you and I, he's the least of your concerns. Your handpicked Guardians of the Globe are struggling. The response time of your team leaves much to be desired, and while you haven't outright failed on a mission yet, the top brass is not happy. All eyes are on you. You need to make sure not to mess anything up in the coming weeks. You're more or less on probation.
I see. Understood.
So it was all over the news?
Yeah, to say the least. It's public knowledge that you were the son of Omni-Man. Now the public sees you and Omni-Man in a knockdown, drag-out brawl that resulted in thousands of lost lives and over twice as many injuries. Nobody knows why, though. Nobody knows you were protecting this planet from your father. Nobody knows that you were risking your life for the good of us all.
How do you know?
Your father's earpiece, the one I mentioned before, works both ways. He could hear me, I could hear him. It picks up quite a bit. I could hear you as well. We have the whole conversation recorded. Come with me. It's good to see you up and around. How do you feel?
Fine, I guess.
Good. Through here. As I was saying, we have the whole conversation on tape. We let your mother listen to it. To save you the trouble of having to explain this whole ordeal. She was pretty upset, but I think it'll be good for her in the long run to have heard everything your father said.
You did what? She heard everything he said? How could you do that to her? Some of the things he said... I can't bear the thought of her ever hearing them. What the hell were you thinking?
It was the best way, trust me. What would you have told her had happened? His reasons, his motives. Don't you think she deserves to know the truth?
Yeah, but...
I did the right thing. If you had sugarcoated the whole situation, maybe she would be sitting at home waiting for him to come back instead of dealing with the seriousness of it all.
I suppose you're right. Wait a minute. Where are we?
Oh, sorry. Lights! Okay, that's enough. Lights!
What? What in the world just happened? Where did all that go?
It's still here. It hasn't moved. The water America drinks so conveniently from their tap is laced with a chemical that inhibits the eye's ability to see certain frequencies of light. Those frequencies are used in this room.
So it's all just invisible?
Yes. You and everyone else in America don't have the ability to see things in this room and elsewhere. You'd be surprised how often this is used. I turned the lights off for a second just so you could see what I'm talking about. I hope you didn't see too much. If you did, I'll have to kill you.
Ha ha, very funny.
An oldie, but a goodie.
So if it's the light in the room that makes me unable to see anything, how come I can see myself and you?
That's complicated. We didn't want you to be too alarmed when you came in. It was important that you at least see something. Explaining that would be a waste of time. A lot of time. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, your mother knows. I've also taken care of your family finances so you won't have to worry about an income. Your college, too, will be paid for. I've pulled some strings. You got a full scholarship to Upstate University last week.
Sweet!
Aren't you the least bit concerned with what I will want in return for all this? I am part of the big, scary government, after all.
Crap. I knew there'd be a catch.
Don't worry. It's not that bad. Your father is gone. We monitored him on our sensors all the way past our range. He didn't change trajectories at all. He was going somewhere. He is not in our solar system anymore. We have proof that there are other planets capable of supporting life. knowing how long he can hold his breath and how fast he can fly. It's not unreasonable to assume your father could make it to one of these planets. He was not committing suicide by flying into space. That was one of our technicians' theories. At least, we're pretty sure he wasn't. What I'm getting at is, he's gone. Your father was very valuable to us. Especially after the Guardians of the Globe were dead. He saved a lot of lives, in this entire planet more times than I can remember. We need a replacement.
You mean me?
Pretty much, yeah. We've been keeping an eye on you since your father told us you were developing powers of your own. You've improved vastly in a very short amount of time. Your father himself said that you will eventually be just as powerful as him. We need you. And as you already know, we have a lot to offer you in return. What do you say?
All I have to do is be a superhero and allow you to tell me where I need to be when bad stuff happens, and in return, you'll take care of my mom and I get a scholarship?
That's the gist of it, kid.
Count me in.
Alright then. Follow me. Now all we need to do is fit you with an earpiece and get you a beeper and you'll be ready to go home with your mother. Welcome aboard, Mark.
Eve?
Oh, good. I was afraid your parents would answer the door. I hadn't come up with a good excuse for being here that didn't involve our mutual friend being a superhero.
What can I do for you? Did you hear from Mark?
No, but my, friend works for the government. And he says that he was injured, but that they have him and he's healing up. He should be back soon.
So Mark's fine? Good. That's great news. Man, I was so worried about him.
Me too.
But he's safe now. You want to get something to eat? To celebrate?
So,
I'm going to bed.
Mom, are you gonna be okay?
No, not even close.
What the? Oh, crap! What do we have, Cecil?
First off, never say my name. Second, are you wearing your costume?
Not yet.
Never activate the headset until you're in costume. The beeper is your cover. You can always use that as an out if you're with people. You need to get in the habit of not activating the headset until you're in costume, so people never see you activate the headset. You need to get into space right now. Your friend is back. Your dad told me how you talked to him about not returning. His reappearance has me worried that this is connected to your father in some way. Maybe he was working with your father all along. Keep your guard up.
Will do. I just need to grab my spare costume, and I'm gone.
Invincible! Thank heavens! When you didn't immediately show up, I thought it was too late. I have to warn you. Nice punch, by the way.
What do you mean? Warn me of what?
When I returned to the Coalition of Planets' home world and told them that I had been going to Earth instead of Urath, they flipped out. It seems Earth is off limits to the Coalition. You've got a Viltrumite living among you.
Oh, that.
What do you mean? You already know?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Have a seat. This might take a while.
So, you're a Viltrumite? But you don't work for them. And your dad left. He just left.
Yeah. I've never been to Viltrum. I don't really know much about them, but yeah. As far as we can tell, my dad is just gone.
That is highly unorthodox behavior for a Viltrumite. They don't just leave their post. They destroyed my home world hundreds of years ago. My people are a nomadic species because we resisted the Viltrumites when they attempted to take over.
I'm very sorry.
Don't be. You had no part in it. From the sounds of it, I'm the one that should be apologizing to you. If I had checked my records before I left here, I might have seen that Earth had been flagged as being prepped for a Viltrumite takeover. I could have warned you.
I would have just gone to my dad and asked him about it. Who knows how things would have played out had that actually happened?
Still, I feel like I should have done something. I cannot imagine what you're going through. Since our home world was destroyed, my people have been taking steps to ensure our survival. We have breeding camps and child-raising colonies. I've never even met my father. The coalition of planets will want to hear about you. We are at odds with the Viltrum Empire. A great power struggle is brewing in the farthest reaches of space. The coalition is trying to unite enough worlds to have an army powerful enough to stop the Viltrumite expansion throughout the galaxy. The Viltrumites are so strong individually that they are virtually unstoppable. But no one has ever heard of a Viltrumite abandoning his post or one that defies the Empire altogether. I must bring them this news at once. This could be the advantage they're looking for.
Let me know if there's anything I can do to help. I'm not looking forward to Viltrum returning to the planet to claim it as part of their empire.
Will do. I'll certainly let you know as soon as I hear something from the Coalition. In the meantime, what about you? With your father gone and all that's happened, what are you gonna do?
Finish high school, I guess.